Welcome back to Safe Haven with Mimi podcast. Join me on the journey of personal, mental, and self-development. If you haven't, make sure to hit the subscribe button for more episodes like this. Picture it, feel it, and live it. That is what we'll be taking on in today's episode. So what exactly am I talking about when I say picture it, feel it, and live it? I am referring to the life you want for yourself, or better still, anything that you want to happen to you. But if we may ask ourselves this question, why do people think negatively about themselves in the first place? Well, basically, a lot of people grow up in a negative surrounding, which has affected their way of thinking and reacting to certain situations. Many of us grew up in the time of spare the rod and spoil the child thinking. Anyone who grew up in such environments, which most of us can relate to, would know that there are lots of negative words spoken unto people when they were growing up. It was seen as a casual thing, like calling your child or your younger one stupid, idiotic, foolish, crazy, all of those mean words. But I think it was instilled into the people, and at some points it is really hard for them to come out of that thinking. So the first resort people go to, or the first reaction to an action, is a negative reaction. People's minds always fall back to the negative aspect of things, more likely or most likely than the positive ones. All of these negative words have an effect on people, their mindsets and their mentality, and causes them to think mostly negative about themselves. But why is this not realized? Because it has become a normal thing. Everyone sees it as normal to use a curse word on someone and not thinking about the effect it has on the person mentally. But if we may ask ourselves, where do negative thoughts come from? Sometimes not only childhood, not only growing up, not only your environment, but negative thoughts come from sadness, envy, despair, anger, jealousy, insecurities, and fear. All of those and many other things causes the outcome of negative thoughts and causes people to be less positive about themselves. Just so I would remind you, it's not as easy as it seems or sounds to just redirect your mindsets to positive thinking when you have already been surrounded or grown in have this mentality of negativity. Actually, a gradual thing. It's a step-by-step process. But thankfully, in this podcast, we will find solutions together on how to curb out the negativity. So stick around. We live in a stressful world, and some estimates say up to 80% of all doctors' visits include stress or are stress-related. That is why M&M's mobile massage services believe taking care of your mind and body is not just luxury, it is a necessity. Loosen up and feel all the pressures disappear through the transformative massage therapy. Allow your body to experience rejuvenation in all angles. And now, to the reason why I love it so much is because a mobile and therapeutic massage is provided at the comfort of your homes. So, what exactly are you waiting for? Just dial +234 907008 5002. Or you can contact them on Instagram at M&M's Mobile Massage Services for more inquiries. How can I change my negative thoughts to positive ones? First thing we're going to go on is ask yourself hard questions. What is your mission? Does this thought help me get closer to my mission? Can I do anything about what has already been done? Can I change it? So, what can be done? If I cannot change the negative thing that has already happened, do I stay on it and continue to ponder on it and allow it to stop me from achieving my goal? Or do I move on from the negative thoughts? So, now we have moved on from all the negativity. How do we start picturing it then? How do we start picturing the life we want? The positive things. Where do I want to be in life? How do I want to live it? Ask yourself how you want to live your life. Do you want to continue to dwell in that negativity? Or you want to move on from it? We need to ask ourselves, how would I feel if I was at this place? How would I feel if I was this person I wanted to be? How would I feel? How would I feel if I was living the life that I wanted to live? We would feel happy, peaceful, and confident. It's time for you to feel happy. It's time for you to feel peaceful, confident in yourself. To live in it, you must be able to feel it like it has already happened. Then after that, we would ask ourselves, how do I act it? How do I live it? This is where it gets tricky. If we aren't in the place that we want to live in, or that luxurious house that we want to be in, how am I supposed to be acting like that when I am not there already? I know it sounds crazy. It might sound complicated, but it's not that complicated, although it might be. It is maybe a little, but it is still achievable. You have to act the way you would act if you were at the place you wanted to be. If you were at the height that you wanted to be in life, how would you act? Would you be bold? Would you be confident? Well, it's also part of the feeling. But now it's not only feeling, you have to act it. Would you have this deprived mindset? Like, oh, I don't think I would have this much amount of money. Although I want to purchase this, maybe it would be good for me. And I need to purchase this stuff. I don't think I have the amount of money, and I don't think I would have that amount of money in maybe a week. So let me just forget this. Let me just forget that I ever wanted to purchase that good. Now that thinking is always going to restrict you from moving ahead, because you're always going to be attracting what you are thinking, or what you are feeling, or what you are living. So you need to think in the right way. What would you do if you were rich? Or if you were living that fancy lifestyle that you wanted to live so bad? I'm guessing you would take yourself on vacations and give yourself a nice treatment. Well, why don't you start now? Start with a little. Sometimes take yourself out, even if it's not to the most luxurious place. Give yourself that luxurious feel, like you are already living it. Experience it and know how it feels. Adjust your mindset to the feeling of that kind of lifestyle. And see how you tend to live like you are in that life already. Have time for yourself. Pamper yourself. Do the things you would do for yourself when you have money. Start doing it right now. Once in a while, give yourself that luxurious treatment that you want to be in. Just like in Christianity, which is called faith, in another term, it's called manifestation. It's just the same word, the same meaning, with different words. But like synonyms. They're the same meaning. They have the same meaning. You attract what you believe in. All of that builds self-respect and self-esteem too. Because at this point, you feel like you are in that life. Then when you do that and treat yourself right, emotionally, mentally, and physically, it would have a great effect on the way you see yourself and the way others will start to see you. But then what happens if you dwell in the negative thoughts still? You would never know any other feeling apart from the negative ones. And if you cannot move yourself from the first key of the mindset, if you cannot think positive, you wouldn't be able to let alone feel it and live it. So, first things first, get yourself out of that negative pit hole that you put yourself in and start to work your way up with positive thoughts, mindsets, and actions and words. That is all that we will be talking about on this episode of Picture It, Feel It, and Live It. Thank you for joining me today on Safe Haven with Mimi podcast. I hope you found it worth your time. If you love this, don't hesitate to follow and subscribe on TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram. And also to listen to our podcast, you would get it on Spotify at Safe Haven with Mimi. I am your host, and this is your safe space.